안녕하세요. 클릭하우스의 이기훈입니다. 네, 저는 앞에 조금 간단하게, 왜냐하면 대부분의 세션들이 오늘 영어로 진행될 예정이다 보니까 간단하게 그냥 클릭하우스에 대해서 짧게 소개드리고 이제 좀 더 상세한, 좀 궁금하실 기술적인 이야기들을 다루는 세션으로 넘어가려고 합니다. 먼저 사실 한번 여기 오신 분들의 프레젠스가 궁금해서 저쪽에 있는 QR코드 가지고서 혹시 폴링을 한번 해주시면은 오늘 오신 분들이 클릭하우스에 대해서 처음 들어보셨는지 아니면은 조금 아시는지 아니면 헤비한 사용자이신지 요거를 한번 좀 저희가 알고 이야기를 진행해 볼 수 있으면은 좋을 것 같습니다. 근데 이게 잘 동작을 할지는 이게 그러네요. 이렇게 하면 움직이는군요. 네. 들어보신 분들이 한 20%. 요게 이 회사에서 잘 쓰는 그런 포인트들인데 네, 클릭하우스를 그래도 아시는 분들이 한 절반 이상 이렇게 참석해 주신 걸로 보여지네요. 반갑습니다. 클릭하우스라고 하는 회사에 대해서 짧게만 먼저 소개를 해드리려고 합니다. 좀 클릭하우스의 매니악이나 팬분들은 아시겠지만 클릭하우스라고 하는 솔루션은 얀덱스라고 하는 러시아에 있는 회사에서 클릭스트림 하우스라고 사용자의 클릭 데이터들을 분석해 가지고서 여러 가지 용도로 활용하기 위해서 처음에 인하우스 프로젝트로 시작이 됐었습니다. 근데 이제 굉장히 많이 그 웹이나 모바일들이 발전하게 되면서 많은 사용자들을 좀 가지게 되었고, 그러다가 이제 미국인 투자자들하고 이제 합작을 해서 회사를 차리게 된 것이 이제 2021년입니다. 클릭하우스는 계속 이제 오픈소스의 중심에서 태어나서 이제 오픈소스 정책을 계속 고수하면서 동시에 이제 상용 사용자들에게는 어떤 베네핏을 줄 수 있을까 고민을 하면서 클릭하우스 클라우드라고 하는 조금은 이제 엔진 구조가 다른 새로운 솔루션을 사스로 처음에 런칭을 한 지 이제 2022년에 런칭을 해서 시간이 흘러오게 됐고요. 지난 2년 동안 그래도 많은 분들에게 좋은 고객들을 많이 유치할 수 있고 좋은 평가를 받아가지고 이제 현재는 2천여 명이 넘는 고객사가 전 세계적으로 클릭하우스 클라우드를 활용하고 계십니다. 그리고 국내에도 이제 런칭이 되어 있는 상태입니다. 사실 클릭하우스라는 회사를 운영하는 거에 대해서는 큰 관심이 없으실 수는 있겠지만 저기 두 번째 보시는 이제 알렉세이라고 하는 CTO가 얀덱스에서 실제 클릭하우스를 이제 창시하고 개발했던 리더시고 현재 저희 CTO로 계속 하고 그 회사를 운영하고 계시고요. 매달 나오는 릴리즈 노트에서 자주 만나실 수 있는 분이라고 이해하시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 그리고 CTO인 에론 카츠라고 하는 저희 CEO는 세일즈포스와 이제 엘라스틱이라고 하는 회사에서 이제 오픈 소스로 여러 경험을 하고서 왜 상용 솔루션으로 이제 사스를 만들 때는 이제 엘라스틱 오픈 서치가 아닌 어떠한 좀 독특한 구조나 베네핏을 가져가야 되는가에 대해서 좀 사상을 갖고 회사가 좀 다른 방향으로 어떻게 좀 더 밸류 프로포진 할 수 있는지를 많이 고민하고 있는 그런 모습으로 회사를 운영해 왔고요. 그다음에 마지막으로 이제 유리라고 하는 이제 러시아계 미국에서 커리어를 계속 쌓아오신 이 엔지니어링 전문가분을 저희 프로덕트와 엔지니어링의 프레지던트로 모셔서 회사가 시작이 되었고 현재는 이 정도의 랜드스케이프를 갖고 활동을 하고 있습니다. 클릭하우스 내부 엔진에 대해서는 뭐 다른 시간에서도 더 많이 설명드릴 수 있을 것 같지만 첫 번째로는 오픈소스, 두 번째는 이제 분석에 유용한 컬럼나 구조, 그 다음에 이제 분산 처리가 가능한 그리고 빠르게 분석할 수 있는 올랩형 데이터베이스 네 가지의 정책을 가지고서 이 네 가지의 컨셉을 갖고 이제 올랩DB를 계속 발전시켜 오고 개발해 가고 있고요. 이 성장의 고도를 본다고 했었을 때는 지난 5년간 이제 가장 많은 깃허브 스타가 이제 폭발적으로 증가한 이런 케이스를 봤었을 때는 클릭하우스가 이제 압도적으로 다른 이 시장에 있는 테크놀로지들 대비 많은 관심도를 받고 많은 사용자들을 모집했다는 이런 것들을 확인하실 수 있습니다. 흔하게 유즈 케이스 관련해서는 많이 물어보시기는 하는데 저는 이렇게 크게 그냥 네 가지 간단하게 언급하고 가려고 합니다. 첫 번째로는 이 클릭스트림 하우스로 출발한 것처럼 실시간적으로 발생하는 여러 가지 로그들에 대해서 실시간 분석을 하는 포인트가 하나가 있을 거고요. 그 아래로 보시게 되면은 이런 로그들이라고 하는 것들을 이제 소위 말해서 관제, 옵저버빌리티로 본다고 하면은 옵저버빌리티의 관제용 도구로 이제 많이 사용하는 그 근간의 데이터베이스로도 많이 활용이 됩니다. 세 번째, 네 번째 이제 우측으로 보시게 되면은 이제 클릭하우스라고 하는 엔진이 점점점 시간이 더 많이 흘러가면서 조금 더 트레디셔널한 어떠한 DW적인 워크로드들에 대한 요구사항들을 개선하기 위해서 오늘 이따가 조인이나 아니면은 어떤 업서트 관련된 기능들의 개선 사항들도 좀 말씀을 드릴 건데요. 이런 쪽으로 확대하고 있는 유즈 케이스들도 있고 마지막으로 오늘 또 마찬가지로 보여드리겠지만 AI에 관련되어 있는 MCP라든지 AI에 많이 서빙되는 DB로도 많이 활용이 되고 있습니다. 기술적인 차별점이라든지 이런 것들, 뭐 굉장히 빠른 쿼리, 그다음에 높은 리소스의 효율성, 그리고 사용하기 쉽다는 것. 대부분 클릭하우스를 사용해 보신 분들은 이제 싱글로드로 머신에서 바로 설치해 가지고서 어떤 것들을 활용하기가 굉장히 유용하다는 것들을 알고 계실 텐데 이런 세 가지 컨셉으로 굉장히 쉽게 또 쉽지만 굉장히 파워풀한 성능을 낼 수 있는 올랩 DB로 많이 각광을 받고 있는 솔루션입니다. 뭐 이런 차별성 이야기들은 앞으로 더 많은 기회들을 통해서 말씀을 드릴 수 있을 것 같은데요. 클릭하우스가 현재 강점을 갖고 있는 포인트들은 이제 실시간 분석이라고 하는 빠른 응답을 요구하고 높은 동식성의 워크플로우를 가져가는 이런 쪽으로 이제 클릭하우스가 많이 포지셔닝 되어 있고 현재 이제 다른 필러들 뭐 레이크라든지 분산 데이터 처리라든지 웨어하우스라든지 아니면은 기타 다른 뭐 데이터 소스들에 대해서도 점점점 그 어떤 영역은 클릭하우스가 훨씬 더 잘할 수 있고 어떤 영역들은 뭐 어떠한 요구 사항들이 있었을 때 어느 정도의 그 기능을 갖고 커버할 수도 있고 혹은 따로는 뭐 아이스버그나 이런 것들은 어떻게 이제 페더레이션이나 이런 부분들을 처리할 수 있는지 이런 기능들은 지속적으로 추가해 나가고 있으니까 계속 업데이트 드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 클릭하우스 클라우드 이야기인데요. 이건 너무 이제 상용적인 얘기니까 정말 빠르게 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 클릭하우스 오픈소스에 대해서는 매우 익숙하시겠지만 클릭하우스 오픈소스는 이제 MPP Shared Nothing 구조고 클릭하우스 클라우드는 이제 많은 부분들을 자동화한 MPP 구조다 보니까 이제 노드를 늘리게 되면은 리밸런싱을 하는 부분이라든지 이런 부분들이 어렵다고 했었을 때 이런 부분들을 좀 자동화해 놓고 그 다음에 그 구조를 바꿔 가지고서 이제 그 샤드라든지 이런 부분들을 기본적으로 제거하고 S3 스토리지를 기본적으로 쉐어드 에브리띵 구조로 가져가는 이런 클릭하우스 클라우드 아키텍처를 저희가 이제 만들어서 서비스를 하고 있고요. 요거는 현재 사스 전용으로 이제 진행을 하고 있습니다. 오늘 시연에서 이제 몇 가지를 좀 보여드릴 수 있을 것이라고 생각을 하고 클릭하우스 클라우드는 이제 서울 리전에서 사용 가능하시고 원하신다 그러면은 현재는 개인 이메일로도 사인업 하셔가지고서 크레딧 받아서 활용하실 수 있고 샘플 데이터셋이나 이런 것들도 꽤 잘 돼 있으니까 관심 있으시면은 바로 사인업 하셔가지고 한번 테스트 해보셔도 좋을 것 같습니다. 뭐 클릭하우스 클라우드가 갖고 있는 어떤 아키텍처적인 특징인데요. 뭐 컴퓨터 앤 스토리지 세퍼레이션, 컴퓨터 앤 컴퓨터 세퍼레이션 뭐 이런 기능들, 그다음에 오토 스케일링 이런 기능들이 다 내재화되어 있고요. 기타적으로는 뭐 내재화된 백업이나 가용성이라든가 쌈일 연동 이런 것들 뭐 보통 대부분 클라우드가 제공하는 기능들은 가지고 있고 이렇게 생각하면 좋을 것 같습니다. 올랩이라고 하는 것들이 워크로드가 늘 항상 일정하지가 않는데 왜냐면은 분석하는 분들이 많이 분석을 하시면은 리소스가 많이 필요하고 사용자들이 없는 밤 시간에는 솔직히 말해서 조금 아쉬울 때, 그 리소스 대비 사용량이 낮아서 아쉬울 때도 있는데 그런 부분들을 좀 자동화해 가지고서 인프라의 유틸라이제이션을 굉장히 효율적으로 쓸 수 있도록 만들어져 있는 부분들이 좀 특징이라고 말씀을 드릴 수는 있을 것 같고요. 그런 사항들도 나중에 다른 세션을 좀 말씀을 드리려고 합니다. 뭐 클라우드의 아키텍처, 네, 저희 밑에 보시는 어떠한 배치 입수 아니면은 실시간 스트리밍 입수 아니면은 요즘은 이제 오텔이라고 해서 하이퍼DX라고 이제 저희가 옵저버빌리티 레이어를 제공하고 있는 것도 있는데 이런 오텔 매트릭들 입수해가지고 볼 수 있는 이런 입수 채널은 이렇게 되고 분석하는 파이프라인 뭐 BI 대시보드 애플리케이션 요즘 MCP 같은 거 써서 AI 뭐 클로드나 베드라고 연동하는 거 이런 부분들이 있고요. 현재 저희가 나아가고 있는 방향은 이제 카탈로그들, 아이스버거 카탈로그나 뭐 AWS 쓰신다 그러면은 글루랑 연동해 가지고서 레이크에 데이터를 쓰거나 아니면 아이스버거로 있는 파일들하고 클릭하우스에 있는 파일들을 뭐 조인하는 기능들 이런 쪽으로 이제 점점 나아가고 있습니다. 뭐 최신 업데이트는 뭐 클라우드에는 이제 이런 CDC 같은 기능들도 내재화되어 있는 클릭 파이프라고 있고요. MySQL, MongoDB, 뭐 포스트그레스 이런 OLTP에서 바로바로 별도의 카프카나 플링크 채널 없이 자동으로 CDC 해가지고서 바로 클릭하우스로 입수하는 기능들 이런 것들 이제 하고 있었고 옵저버빌리티 이야기를 하면서 조금 더 제이선 데이터 처리를 잘하는 그리고 아까 좀 전에 말씀드린 이런 하이퍼DX 이따가 잠깐 보여드릴 수 있을 것 같은데 이런 사례들에 대한 케이퍼빌리티를 조금 더 많이 올려가고 있습니다. 마지막으로는 제가 제일 시연할 때 많이 쓰는 기능인데 내부적으로는 이제 MCP에 대해서 많은 그 관심을 갖고 있어서 요즘 이제 예전에는 애드호c 쿼리들을 이제 어떻게 대응하냐 뭔가 좀 더 빠르게 응답하는 BI 툴을 쓰냐 이런다 그랬다면은 요즘은 그런 부분들을 자연어 처리를 할 수 있도록 해가지고 MCP를 대는 쪽이 트렌드라 그러면 클릭하우스는 그런 데 이제 좀 대응을 잘 하고 있다라고 말씀을 드릴 수 있을 것 같습니다. 그래서 오늘 제가 꼭 이렇게 말씀드리고 싶었던 부분들은 사실 뒤에 오시는 이제 이 데렉이 더 많은 얘기들을 해주실 거기 때문에 오늘 클릭하우스에 대한 뭐 한국에 이제 서비스를 시작하고 한국에 이제 팀이 생기면서 하는 부분들은 굉장히 짧게 이야기를 진행을 했고요. 이제는 데렉을 모시고 My Favorite Features at ClickHouse라고 클릭하우스에서 이제 좋아하는 기능들과 뭐 이렇게 좀 내부적인 이야기들 그 다음에 여러 가지 데모들 이렇게 보여줄 거라고 생각을 합니다. 네, 데렉 우리 야. 그리고 혹시나 중간에 어떤 질문이나 이런 것들 있으시면은 물론 문화가 약간 다른 거는 알지만 막 이렇게 손 들어주시면은 제가 뭐 통역이나 번역 정확하진 않아도 할 수 있으니까 혹시나 중간에 궁금하신 거 있으시면은 손 들고 말씀 주시면은 제가 대응할 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
Hello, everyone. Two more. All right. Is it good? Can you hear me? All good? No? Oh, I turn on. Maybe just two. Hello, hello. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me try. All right. You hear me? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ken, for the introduction. My name is Derek. I'm from Singapore. Been with ClickHouse for more than 3 years. So over the years, I have a lot of features. So today, I'm going to show you some of the features that I really like. And hope you can learn something more about ClickHouse. So first of all, let's take a view into the list of features in 2025, which is this year. Every month, we will have one release, right? So as you can see, every time we release, we have a blog post. We also have a YouTube video where our CTO, yeah, it's good, where our CTO will present the latest feature. So he will be doing a demo. It's around 1 hour, and then he'll be doing it live. So it's actually a must watch for all ClickHouse employee if you are interested in the new and latest development. So when I was asked to talk about this topic, I'm like, which one should I start? Because just this year we have so many releases, and each of these releases has a lot of features. So how many of them, right? So if you can do a sum over the new features across the 10 versions that we released, you get a lot, right? That's easily hundreds of them. I also pull out the highlights, which is at the third column, right? As you can see, we made improvement in parallel hash join in January. February, we have something to do with the Parquet Bloom filter writing, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go through all of them today. What I want to tell you is that the velocity of development in ClickHouse is very fast. When we see bugs, we fix them. When we see new features contributed from the community, we will merge them. Obviously, we will have very rigorous tests, and we provide feedback to our contributors as well. So with so many features, which one should I pick? That's actually a big problem. Obviously, with that, these are some of the focus areas that we have in 2025 this year. I'm trying to break it down to you. These are the focus area that we have. So as you can see from the left, we have joins, right? So ClickHouse doesn't do very well in joins. Let's say around a year ago, but in the recent versions, we have a lot of improvement. In fact, one of my sharing, I'll be talking about and showing you an improvement we made in the joins. Next one will be distributed queries. So in our cloud architecture, we have replicas, we have a lot of compute nodes. So how can we effectively make use of the rest of the replicas to process the query, right? So that you leverage the other computes. In the middle, we have data lakes that will be focusing on the Iceberg and Delta Lake support. Next, we have mutable data. A lot of OLAP databases in the market, they don't do really well with mutable data because a lot of data, they assume that you don't change. But however, that's not true. the updates and deletes are just as frequent, right? For example, for some use cases. So we made investment in terms of improvement to present the lightweight operations, right? So that is something I will not cover, but I urge you to have a look as well. The last one is inverted index. A lot of customers are also asking when will we be releasing a GA for our inverted index. I don't really have a timeline to share, but I can tell you that it's available for you to try in our open source latest version. So it's not just the features, we also have the recent acquisition this year. Actually, these are the two favorite features that I really like, because ClickHouse itself is a very good database. However, we included on the left, we have a Liberal Chat, which is a more recent acquisition. So for those who are using let's say LLMs like chat interface, you might have heard and even used Liberal Chat. So we are very happy to have them join the ClickHouse family. On the right, we have HyperDX. Now, HyperDX allows us, it's a very nice interface, which I will also demo in a bit, that allows users to interact through a very familiar interface using ClickHouse as a database. So let's talk about Liberal Chat. So with the emergence of agents and reasoning models across these years, we started off with LLM in 2022. We have the RAG coming up so that you can contextualize your materials, whatever you want to look out for in 23. And then in 24 and 25, we have AI agents, right, that can reason and they can understand your data sources. So how is ClickHouse involved in this? So what we really want to do over here is that in real-time analytics, we expect the data to be always fresh. Obviously, we want the queries to be fast. But this means that we also want agents to be querying the database instead of humans, because there's only this number of queries that you can write. But for agents, they are smart enough to query the database, make sense out of it, and give you the results you want. So this is the architecture that we have. Quite simple. On the left, you see ClickHouse. You can use open source ClickHouse. You can use the cloud version. They will all work. In the middle, we have the MCP server. This is also something that we developed, an open source MCP ClickHouse, which I will also demo in a bit. And then on the right, you have Liberal Chat, right? Now, this is all three components. They are all available, open source, over at GitHub. So Liberal Chat will connect to LLM of your choice. So if you want to use Bedrock, feel free. If you want to use a local model, which I will be demoing, you can also do that, right? So right now there are three functions that we call it tools, right? Tools that you can that the MCP server offers. So one of them is list database, list tables, and then also running queries. So in the demo later, I'll be showing you these two callings. So on the left, I said MCP, right? But what does it really do? So I just thought I should give you an overview of what MCP is. So MCP is a model context protocol. It's a standardized protocol where anybody can build a MCP server that connects to any application of your choice, right? So this also means that we build our own so that we can allow agents to talk to a ClickHouse database. So on the left, you see that is the introduction to MCP. Now on the right, if you do not want to, let's say, operate an MCP server because it's an additional component to make sure that it's up and running, you have to make sure it's operating well. It's not that hard, but some people just do not want to use it. Now you can choose to use the fully managed remote MCP server. So if you use our cloud, it comes inbuilt, right? So just a click of a button, you can enable the MCP server, then you have an interface. So you do not need to host it. So again, in my demo, I will show you that component over there, and you will see it. So this is the architecture that I'll be demoing in a bit. So this is how I can show ClickHouse plus the MCP ClickHouse, which is the MCP server, and connecting with the Liberal Chat, right? So all three components I will show you. On the left, top left, I'm going to show you that you can do everything local, meaning to say even if you shut off your Wi-Fi, everything would work. Why? Because ClickHouse, you can operate as a Docker container on your local machine, in my local machine. MCP server as well is just a thin layer of a component. And then you have Liberal Chat, which is once again open source. The local LLM, you can use any LLM of your choice. So if you are using, say, Ollama or anything like that, that's fine. For me, I use Ollama. I pick some of these lighter version of the model, and then I can able to run this on my 3-year-old computer. So my computer is a bit old. Let's see how well it operates. So that's the first one, right? So obviously you can swap ClickHouse out. If you have a remote ClickHouse that you would like to query against, you can easily swap that out. In my demo, I'll be doing that as well. On the right, bottom right, so that's ClickHouse Cloud. So if you do not want to maintain a ClickHouse MCP server, it's already inbuilt in our cloud. So it's easy, just an endpoint. You just hit number 3. I will not demo. I'll just show you 1 and 2. So let's go. Okay, so now it's the demo. So I'll keep this over here so that you can reference, and I will turn on my terminal. Can you see this clearly? All good? Okay. So I really intend to do this from scratch, just to show you how easy this can be done, right? So first thing first, we will clone the. Oh, do I have something? Okay. Okay. I have something running already. So let's see. Okay, let me just stop all of them and start again. I was just testing this before. Okay, good. So now let's clone LibreChat. So this is doing from scratch, right? So anybody can do this, LibreChat, and I'm going to walk through the configuration that's required. So let's get into, maybe let me make it bigger so that people at the back can see it. Let's go into LibreChat, and there are a few configuration files. First one is just the environment. The next two are the LibreChat related ones. The last one obviously is a Docker Compose. We will be adding new components in the Docker Compose, right? So once we are done, we can open up our code editor. So the first thing first, we need to make sure that we add in Olama, because this is our LLM, right? So we go to LibreChat YAML. Where is it? So there you go. Oh, Zoom? Okay, sure. Oh, sorry. Okay. Is this good? Oh, the right? Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Hope you can see. So over at the LibreChat, LibreChat YAML file, let's look for the endpoint, right? So endpoints, right? So by default, there are a few endpoints that comes with it, so we do not need them. So let's just comment them out. So I want to really focus on the stuff we have for today. So we only want Olama. We don't need the others. Make sure that this is formatted nicely. You can see that we have a list of models that we provide to the LibreChat, right? So that over at LibreChat, when you choose the LLM to run, you get to see the list. Obviously, this should align with whatever you have on the local machine. Next is the MCP server. All right, that's over here. Again, I'm going to add it in below. So take note, I do have 2 MCP server. Why? Because each of them will connect to different so-called hosts. I have one local host, which means that this will connect to my Docker container local. I have another one, which is through yet another Docker container, but fetching information from sql.clickhouse.com. So I'll talk to you what sql.clickhouse.com is. But basically, it's a hosted source that has all these data sources for you to query. So this is open. You do not have to authenticate or log in. Anyone can literally run the queries that is defined here, right? So if you want to make changes, feel free, you can. But this is the data source that we are working with for today. So next one is Docker Compose override. So we want to add a few. Okay, this is not override. This one is. Okay, so we want to add a few, we want to turn on a few services, right? First one, we want to make sure that we have LibreChat. So I'm going to uncomment this. Next, I'm going to add Olama together with the NCP component, right? So let me copy this and add to the end. So what this means is that it's reading off my local Olama folders, which has all the models already loaded, because I don't want to download them in demo. After that, let's add all the MCP related stuff. Not just MCP, right? So we have MCP Playground, we have MCP localhost. you can take notice that the playground actually connects to sql-clickhouse.clickhouse.com. Log in as a user demo, no need password, and this is really basically it. You can see that the image we are using is the mcp/clickhouse. I'm duplicating another one because this is using the local host. So you can notice that the host is actually referring to the my local computer, right? No need password. This is the default port. The last one. Now, last one is where I have a ClickHouse container running, because I told you that this is available as local. So after all this is done, we will start it. Let's see if we can start this successfully. Fingers crossed. Okay, looks good. The other thing we need to do is to create a user. I'm gonna copy. This is my username. My password is just password again. It will ask you to do some validation. It's okay. It's a demo. So it seems like I have a user created successfully. So let's switch over. Let's see, to the Libra chat, right? Okay, so it's gonna ask me for my login. My password is a password. So because I'm logging in for the first time, right? So I do have to accept some terms and condition. Now this is the interface. This is the default interface. How do I know I have configured the MCP correctly? Over here, right? So you get to see like which MCP you want to connect to. So I have a playground. I also have a local host. So so let me do something interesting, because I told you that I can set up everything locally, right? I'm going to go ahead and turn off my Wi-Fi from here. Fingers crossed that it works. The other one is that I want to select the local model that I have. Again, this is an old computer, but I'm going to choose a lighter weight model. So from here, I did prepare some prompts, but before that, I want to show you that an interface. So because we have created a local ClickHouse container, right? So this is where you can access the interface. So the ClickHouse binary do come with a interface for you to access. So I'm gonna create, obviously before that, I want to show you that it's a empty and nothing. I'm gonna create a database, right? I'll call it Soul Meetup, so that when we switch over to the Libra chat, I just send in a prompt telling the model to say, show me the database in ClickHouse, right? So let's pray that it works. I hope it's fast enough. So you can see that it's doing some thinking, which is quite fast actually. It runs through a list of databases. Okay, let's see. Okay, wow, okay, so this is where I didn't pray to the demo gods. Maybe let's try one time and see if it helps. Oh, I think it's not running any more. Okay, but I tell you what, I do have a backup. Always have backups. So I'm gonna bring everything down, and I'm gonna switch over to my backup folder. And then let's start from there. Okay. Oh, okay, something it's off. Let me just remove all the Docker container and let's try it one more time. Oh, maybe for some reason it needs to go through the network. Let's see. Okay, let's give it a quick try. Otherwise, I will just move along. Uh, 0.6 and local host. And let's show me the databases in ClickHouse. All right, it works. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let me create a database and let's try again. Okay. So now I do have the databases. So meet up, and let's try to chat with this again. And I'll stop once we see the database listed. All right, we made it. So this is a demo to show you that you can actually set up things very quickly. If I were to switch over to another playground, I mean the other ClickHouse, which is a remote ClickHouse, you get to see more, right? But first, let me switch the model because I realized that this small one is not very good. So switching to a larger model. Now from here, I can do the same thing, show me the databases in ClickHouse. It will fetch from whatever that is inside here, right? So you can see over here a lot of tables. Also, oh, these are just tables. Okay, I thought they are databases, but let's see. So what did you do? Here are the available databases. Okay, very good. Now I'm gonna be adventurous and ask it to query for a random movie. Let's see whether it can get it right. So it's gonna take a little bit more time, but hopefully it will work. So all right, looks like it works. So you're right, hooray! So now we are able to get it to return a random movie, and this is actually querying a remote ClickHouse. There are some other prompts where I tried, but I'm not going to do it here. So let's move from this slide over here. So what I've done is to show you. Okay. All right, what I've done is to show you number 1 and number 2. So let's move along. Next one I want to talk about is ClickStack, right? So ClickStack is yet another company that we acquired earlier this year. So what is the problem that ClickStack solves? No, ClickStack is a observability stack. So first of all, it's open source across all the stack with ClickHouse at the being the underlying database. You can deploy and run very quickly. It's really built for observability. Later on, when I show you the front end, you will see it. It also has first-class OTel and JSON support, right? That makes it really easy for you to just swap into HyperDX from all the other products in the market. Okay, a lot of information here. You can see that we support logs, traces, matrix, and so on. It's SQL powered, so yes, you can write SQL queries and query against ClickHouse through HyperDX. It's really fast interface, and has a lot of other features, right? One of them is the alerting. We recently added alerts in ClickHouse, so that's a very much needed feature. So for this demo, I'm not going to do from scratch. I'm going to point you to a URL, which is play-clickstack.com. clickstack.clickhouse.com, right? So this is something that anyone can log in. You don't even have to log in. Let me show you. You have to connect to the default server. After that, the data will flow in, right? So okay, let me remove it, and let's select a data source. Let's see, demo logs. Right. So this is querying live. So resume live tail. So hopefully it should see live data coming in. I think maybe. Yeah. Okay, it's coming. So from here you can search for your events, and wow, it's really fast actually. Wow. So it's already returning the filtered results. We also have a concept of dashboards on the left. There are already some preset dashboards. Let me change the source, which you can build. So I would say it's a really easy tool to get started for your observability needs. Let's move back to, let's close this and move back to the slides. I'm not done yet. Actually, there's one more challenge, is that you can actually put ClickHouse plus MCP plus LibreChat plus HyperDX all together, right? So this is the architecture here that we have put up. We also have a very extensive blog post, the link here, where you can see how we do it, right? So basically, you can use the ClickStack, which includes HyperDX, to do monitoring and collection of logs coming from LibreChat. I took some screenshots. On the left, you can chat with your AI as usual. On the right, you can see all this telemetry feeding into ClickHouse, right? And allowing the observability to happen over there. So that's all for MCP, LibreChat, and HyperDX. Right now, let me talk about my not actual, but like the favorite feature within ClickHouse. Just now I was talking about components outside of ClickHouse. This one, it's about supporting faster joins. Joins in ClickHouse, we have a lot. Inner join, all join, equi join, and so on. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what we have done to improve parallel hash join. Before 25.1, which is the January version, our parallel hash join, it's really not very well done. We do have a lot of bottlenecks. I won't go into details. I do have my writing over here. It's also picked from the release blog. Remember my first slide? I told you about the release blog post. We covered that extensively. What I'm going to show you is a demo. Now this time, it's going to be a much easier one. Let me bring down my existing Docker. Okay, so let's start with something new. So this is parallel hash join, right? So I'm going to show you the differences when I run it through three different versions of ClickHouse. Okay, let me see if I have three. Okay, I have three. So I'm going to start three different terminals. So and I'm going to show you that how a query got really faster across versions because of the improvement that we put in. Okay, so let's log in. So this one is for 2.4.11, which is last year. This one is, the next one is 2.5.1. Okay, I'll get it bigger after that. And then this is the latest one, 2.5.10, right? I'm going to show you that the query speed actually improved quite a bit across versions. So this is 24.11, right? This is using parallel hash join. As you can see from the setting, we can define it, right? So let me run a few times just to make sure no cheating and no caching and things like that. So this is 1.8 seconds. This is 2.4.11. Now this one is 2.5.1, right? Let's run it. This is, you can see it's already running less than a second. Let's run it a few times to make sure that this is hovering around a second. Okay, this is good improvement. But in 2.5.10, okay, let me see. Yeah, 2.5.10, yeah, which is this one, you get to see even greater improvement. Let's see if I can do this correctly. All right, 0.69 seconds. So you can see we improve all the way from like close to 2 seconds to around 1 second, and eventually in the latest version, less than 1 second, which is 0.6 actually. A huge improvement for parallel hash join, which is a very important join algorithm that we have. I'm going to do one more, otherwise we will run out of time. The next one is about automatic join reordering. So first of all, joins are associative, meaning to say like it depends on kind of joins, right? But by and large, you would want to put the larger table on the left, the smaller table on the right. However, this is a big problem because user doesn't know the size of the table when they write the query. They just write the query, right? They expect ClickHouse to be smart enough. Well, before 24.12, ClickHouse actually does not do that. So we actually get a lot of inquiries saying that, hey, why is join on ClickHouse so slow? So we actually tell them, oh, can you put the bigger table on the left and then, the smaller table on the right? Starting from 24.12, we do that automatically. Now, it's not just one improvement, right? In 25.9, we have even better automatic join reordering. Now, the problem is that global reordering is very hard because there are a lot of possible join orders, right? You can't hard code it, but we did use a greedy search to make sure that we kind of like guess correctly. So I'm going to show you, right? And 259, we done it through column statistics. So this is the demo that I have. So first of all, let's kill all the existing containers, and we start with a fresh batch of ClickHouse. So I have 2411. This is before the original reordering. And then I have 258, which is after the reordering. And then we have the one more. This is even better improvement. So let's have a look. So same thing. Let's log in to, let's exit, let's get in the three of them. All right. Okay, so I have three different versions of ClickHouse running. So this time I need to add in some data, right? Because we talk about reordering. So I have a big table, a medium table, and a small table. And in my query, I'll be doing the joins. So let's actually just load them in on the three different containers, and let's take a quick look at the query. Very simple query. Select star from T small, join T medium, and join T big. So as I said, the biggest problem is that users usually do not know the size of the table, right? So they just join. But now I have labeled the table according to the size. And as I said, the best practice is actually to put the bigger table on the left-hand side. But never mind, we will just use this query, which is inefficient in the older version, right? But because of the join reordering, this actually becomes fast. So let's have a look. This is 2411. Let's have a look at what happens if you do not have join reordering. So this is 2411. It does not have the join reordering at all. So you can see that join is taking like 6+ seconds. I run it the second time just to make sure. Still not fast. Right, so this is unacceptable at ClickHouse speed. ClickHouse is really fast, so we cannot allow for that. Now, if you look at 258, now this has join reordering, but most importantly, we do have this setting. This setting is called query plan join swap table. There are three different options. One is auto, which is automatically reorder based on the table size. There is also a false and true, right? So if you put true, means that yes, it will always swap the table, but that doesn't make sense, because sometimes you do not want it to always swap. If you set false, means it does nothing, right? So we want it to be auto. We want it to be smart enough to do that. So this is this is already 2 seconds, right? If I run it a few times just to make sure with the caching and everything. So now it's hot on the file system cache. So it's all running at less than a second. But we didn't stop there, right? So in the latest version, we have this. So I'm switching to the last tab. Now this is the 2510, right? Now this one, not only I added auto, but we also have the statistics optimized, right? So we look at the cardinality of the join columns, and we compute the statistics so that it helps with the join operation. Let's have a look at how fast this becomes. Less than a second, and if I run it a few more times, this is already 0.3, 0.4 seconds. A major improvement from the original, like what, 5-6 seconds that I have? Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna waste a few seconds, but there you go. This is one of the latest feature. Even better automatic join reordering. So we also have many blog posts. These are two, I would say, quite interesting blog posts about how we compare our join capabilities against Databricks and Snowflake. So have a look. It's all in our blog. Last one, I think a lot of people are interested in, which is the TPC-H performance. You can see prior to this year, which is on 24.10, a lot of the queries are taking a ridiculous time to run, right? You get to see 52 seconds, 72 seconds, and so on. That's, again, not acceptable in ClickHouse. We spent a lot of effort this year improving joins. What this means is that in 25.5 and 25.5 with the global reordering, we managed to get it down into a few seconds, right? As you can see from the last row. Okay, I guess that's all for me. And yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Big round of applause. We will be taking like 3 questions, and I heard that for the good questions there is swag. So any question? Yeah.
네.
Thank you for the presentation. First question is, Can you show us the latest feature of the alert from the Click stack? And the second one, it's impressive for the join performance enhancement. And I see the setting is still not default for the parallel hash join. Is it stable enough for the production?
First of all, which setting are you talking about?
Join algorithm.
The join algorithm?
Yes.
Yeah. So for ClickHouse, the default join algorithm, yeah, you're right. It depends on the analyzer. So the analyzer is actually very smart. It will pick the join algorithm that is that will suit best for your query. So I'll just stop here because there are many join algorithms. You probably have seen it in our documentation. So the parallel hash join does not mean that it's always fastest. I should also tell you about the trade-off, right? So again, it all depends on join guide, right? So in this join guide, we do have this very interesting trade-off table that we always use, right? So you can use parallel hash. It gives you the fastest speed, but it also uses a lot of memory. So it depends on the use case. Some of the customers say that, hey, I want you to use the least amount of memory as possible because I do not want to, provision a larger machine. So I guess it all boils down to your use case and really what kind of joins are you operating on. That's the second question. First question regarding alerts. You know what? I actually do not know. I have not tested the alerts because it's actually quite new. How new? I'll show you our blog. Alerts. It's actually quite a new thing. See, alerting arrives. This is November 5th, right? So, yes, it's like more than 10 days, but I really haven't had time to test this out. So maybe if you can do me a favor, test this out and tell us how you like it or you don't like it.
I mean, you can also talk about the open source first strategy that we have because that's not provided on our cloud yet.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this one it's for ClickHouse Cloud, or for the open source it's not available. Yeah. Thank you for the question.
저 바로 발표 너무 잘 들었습니다. 그 프로메테우스 쿼리 기능에 대해서 질문이 있어서요. 그 프로메테우스 쿼리가 문법을 보면은 실제로 프롬QL이 들어가고 거기에 이제 그 마이테이블과 프롬QL을 같이 둬서 최종적으로 클릭하우스 쿼리가 나가는 것 같은데 프롬QL을 실제로 컴파일을 해서 클릭하우스 문법으로 변환하는 로직이 숨어 있는 건지 궁금합니다.
I think the generic question is that when they try to use PromQL for Prometheus, it seems like there's a kind of an interpreter that PromQL, I mean, that converts PromQL to like the language that ClickHouse understands. So like he's more curious about can we explain what is the kind of internal mechanism running on supporting PromQL?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think we support PromQL.
We started to support very basic, or maybe they're asking for connector. 현재 지금 사용을 하고 계신가요? 아니면은
아니요, 사용하고 있진 않고. So there's function name like Prometheus query is kind of function, and they take two arguments with table name and PromQL string. So I'm just curious about. So you guys internally transpile the PromQL into ClickHouse query or other things?
Good question. I have no idea. Yeah, I'll be honest.
네, 그거는 일단 제가 좀 더 러프하게 말씀을 드리면 사실 저희가 이제 이 하이퍼DX나 옵저버빌리티를 하면서 가장 많이 받는 질문이 이제 뭐 몇 가지가 있는데 첫 번째가 이제 그래파나 대시보드 임포트하는 거, 그다음에 이제 프롬QL 뭐 수게 같이 오는 거겠지만 그다음에 이제 뭐 약간 그런 그 그래파나 마켓플레이스 같은 거 이런 이야기들을 하는데 이번에 그 PR이 제가 알기로 그 커밋이 됐거든요. 베이직 프롬QL 문법을 지원하는 쪽으로 지금 가고 있고 얼터너티브 쿼리 랭귀지들을 조금 늘려가고 있어요. 그래서 지금 프롬QL 지금 현재 이제 그 커넥터 붙여서 쓰는 경우에는 사실 솔직히 말씀드려서 어떻게 돌아가는지 정확하게 모르고 쿼리 그 클릭하우스에 질의할 수 있는 랭귀지를 프롬QL로 할 수 있는 거는 지금 베이직한 레벨이 지금 머지가 된 걸로 알고 있습니다. 저번 주에 됐어요. 그래서 그거는 아마 조금 더 시간이 지나면은 아마 어나운스에서 보실 수 있지 않을까라고 말씀을 드려야 될 것 같습니다.
Any last question? To get some swag? No question? Everything was clear enough? 1, 2, here we go.
그리고 그 이번에 25.3부터 도입된 제이슨 컬럼 되게 잘 쓰고 있는데 그 유스 케이스를 많이 찾아보지 못하다 보니까 저희는 제이슨 컬럼을 2개를 둬가지고 저희 내부 로직을 위해서 밸류를 저장하는 제이슨 컬럼이랑 그 타입을 표현하는 문자열로만 되어 있는 제이슨 컬럼을 도입을 했어요. 좀 되게 특이한 유스 케이스인데 질문은 제이슨 컬럼을 좀 가장 잘 활용할 수 있는 유스 케이스를 소개받을 수 있으면 좋을 것 같습니다.
As the improvement of the JSON support, actually, depending on their use case, they are using two JSON columns. One is for kind of a metadata for the JSON columns, and one is the actual value of the JSON columns. I mean, that's maybe very specific to their use cases, but I think the more of the question is that what is kind of a best practices of the using JSON columns with the kind of a recent new features. I think you can share about some kind of blogs or writings
Yes,
covering there.
Yeah, we do have a blog post that goes extensively on JSON implementation. So you'll probably see something like a dynamic column, variant column, variant data type, right? So we built on top of those variant, dynamic, and then the JSON. So some of the best practices when using JSON is really to, if you know a particular key, like what is the column type, you should always put it into the type hint, right? That is because they will guarantee that the sub-column is of a specific type. So that you avoid, like letting JSON guess what type it is. If it ran out of the number of columns by default, I think it's 1024 or something like that. If you have a lot more keys, right, then it will by default be stored as a dynamic column, right? So that will not be as efficient especially if you want to use that column for like joins and things like that, because he has to read more data just to pull out the value during query time.
Yeah.
So if you know the sub-column type, put it at the type hint. Yeah.
Yes, so my question is, so in my case, I don't really use type hint for JSON column because our JSON column will be very various. Yeah, so my question is, 그 JSON 컬럼 타입 힌트를 사용할 만한 유즈 케이스가 저는 잘 못 느끼겠어가지고 그거를 질문 드린 거긴 합니다.
Oh, like why did the type hint get invented? Yeah, it's invented because for example, there are certain columns that you always use, right? So you are really better off putting the actual column type, because that will help with the processing. Because otherwise, as I said, if you have a lot of keys, right, very nested, ClickHouse will not guarantee that it recognizes the type. It might just use the variant type, dynamic type. Then it becomes slow because it has to read the other data and try to guess, right? Like, what is this type? It's always better to be strongly typed than try to guess what the type is. So it's really useful if you know the type, put it in. Yeah.
All right, big round of applause again for Ken and Derek.